Hi, Chef Phil, JES Restaurant Equipment, Greenwood, South Carolina. Hope you all had a good holiday and a happy new year. For the first video of the year, we're going to take this pork loin, we're going to unroll it like a book, and we're going to stuff it, and we're going to roll it back up, cook it off. It's going to be delicious. But before we get started, we got some exciting news from our owner, Miss Vivian Smith.
Hi, this is Vivian Smith. Today we're introducing our newest contest at JES. We will be giving away these ad craft items used in today's video. Visit our blog to sign up and subscribe to YouTube to get the latest contests and videos.
Okay, thank you very much for that important message, Miss Vivian. Now, let's get to the task at hand. First thing we're going to have to do is unroll this. What you've got here, this is about a 4-pound pork loin. Word of caution. I did this one time for a cooking school demonstration, and I ran into the lady in the grocery store a couple of days later, and she said, "Where did you get such a big pork tenderloin?" I said, "It was not a tenderloin, it was the loin." Now your tenderloin is going to be a lot smaller, so when you go to your butcher, tell them that you want a pork loin. Okay, like I said, this one's about 4 pounds. Now, what you're going to have, usually you want to take off some of this fat cap, but we're not going to worry about it too much. What you really want to do, just like when you're roasting your Thanksgiving turkey, breast side up, you want it so that as the fat is rendered out of the bird, that it runs down over the rest of the turkey. So we're going to take this. We're going to want it to be about a 1/2 inch thick. So what you want to do, I'm using about a 6-inch boning knife. What you want to do is about a 1/2 inch down, you want to start your cut. And being careful not to cut yourself. Alright, and as you peel this back, then just keep going further and further. Sharp knife makes it a whole lot easier. Alright, as you go, just take your time. You're not in any kind of a contest here. Just make sure that you're maintaining that 1/2 inch. Keep it going. Now you don't want to go all the way to the end, because what you're going to do is like your mother's jelly roll. Now you're going to go down a little bit, and it'll be easier if I flip it around here. And you're just going to go back, maintaining that 1/2 inch. Now that's got it all laid flat. Now sometimes, because of the seam of the meat, you will cut all the way through. Don't worry about it. It's not going to hurt it. It might do it aesthetically, it might hurt, but it's still going to taste the same. And the only thing that will happen is, maybe some of the stuffing will leak out, but we're not going to worry about that. Okay, now we've cut ourselves a little piece of saran wrap. We're going to lay it over top. And we're going to take the meat mallet, and we're just going to start pounding it until we get to a more or less uniform thickness, so that it'll all cook the same. Now for the stuffing. Okay, what I've got here is about 1 pound of fresh pork sausage. Now I use the sage flavored. It just sage, pork go together fine. So what we're going to do is just take that, and we're just going to smear it all over. You want to go to within an inch of the edge. If you take it right out to the edge, when you roll it up, it's going to squeeze out. Again, no big thing, but it tastes so good in there. Let's keep it in there, huh? All right, that's got that. Okay, we've got the first layer of the sausage laid down. Now what I have here is fresh baby spinach. And all we're going to do is just lay it in there. You don't really have to de-stem the spinach because this thing's going to cook for a good hour, hour and a half, and it will tenderize. If you get some real big ones, you can pull them off, but not really a big thing. Now this one I've done a couple of times as a Christmas dish, and when I do that, I will come back after I lay down the green spinach. I'll come back with the roasted red peppers and give it a little color of red. You know, your filling is relatively up to you. I've done it with apples and prunes. I've done it with a sort of an Italian style cream cheese. Okay, whatever. We'll hit it with a little salt and pepper. Okay, that's got that. We're going to get some more on it once it's rolled up. But I need butcher's twine. What about this? I'm going to say about an arm and a half's length. Now everybody wonders about the butcher's, what they call the butcher's knot. It's not that hard. Okay, now let's just turn this way, and we're going to start rolling it. Don't have to roll it all that tight. What you have to understand is it cooks, it's going to expand from the inside, and you don't want it to expand so much that it oozes out. Just roll it up again like your mother's or grandmother's jelly roll. There it is. Okay. All right. Now, what you're going to do? Tie your first knot. You don't want to tie it all that tight because again, it's going to expand. You don't want it to force the stuffing out the ends. All right, now you've tied off that first knot. Now what you want to do, your thumb here, come underneath, bring it around and back up through, and then just pull it tight, and then we're just going to do it again. Then once you get down to the end, you can tie it off again so that it doesn't unwind. And there you have it. Now, if you don't want to go through the butcher's twine thing, your main thing, you want to end up with your seam on the bottom. That's where you ended the roll. If you wanted to, you could just take wooden skewers and just skewer it ever so often through there. Just what you want to do is keep that thing together, because once it starts to cook, it's going to seize up and it's going to hold everything in. But until it reaches that temperature that it does that, you want to keep everything in as much as possible. All right, now we did some seasoning on the inside. Let's put a little on the outside. Salt. Pepper. That's got that. Got a little oil on the bottom of it here. I'm going to wipe some on the rack. Help it clean up. Just around that. Put the rack back in. Lay it in there. And it's ready for the oven. Okay, we've got it all set up here in the pan. The pan's oiled. It's sitting on the rack so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. Now you're going to put it in a 350-degree oven. I'm going to say start figuring about an hour and 15 minutes, but by far the easiest way, the best way, safest way when cooking pork or poultry, or once you get used to it, you'll use it for everything. Digital thermometer these things relatively inexpensive, but it gives you a good, accurate readout. And the reason I say that is a lot of people, old school people, think that this pork has got to be cooked to about 165, 170 degrees because of the scare way back when of trichinosis. New rules, I will read from the release that came from the USDA back in May of this year, of last year, excuse me. And what they say is, the USDA is lowering the recommended safe cooking temperature for whole cuts of pork from 165 to 145 degrees Fahrenheit and asking a 3-minute rest time. Rest time is going to be after you bring it out of the oven. It's going to continue to cook because of the residual heat that's in it. So if you bring it out at probably 145 and you let it rest for 3 to 4 minutes, that temperature is probably going to rise another, I would say, 10 degrees. So you're well within the okay, 350 degree oven. Pan is going in. Okay, there you have it. It's in the oven, 350 degrees. We're going to let it go for about an hour, hour and 15 minutes, but we're going to check it with the instant read thermometer, and that's going to be the safest way to tell if it's done. And we'll get back to it and slice it up and give you a presentation, and I think you're going to like the way it looks. Okay, this one took a little bit between an hour and 15 and an hour and 25 minutes, but it's done. I brought it out when the instant read was 143.7. We've let it rest, so now it's up to about 151, which is fine. Another thing you want to say, cooking it to this method or with this method, there might be pink. You know, we haven't cut into this yet. We might have some pink in here, but color is not a good, shall we say, indicator of how well something is done. Some meats are just going to be pinkish red. Pork is one of them. Smoked chicken or smoked pork is going to be even more red because that, as the smoke penetrates into the meat, it turns it a red. So here we go. Okay, as you can see, we can see some of the sausage here. We can see some of the spinach here. Now, if I had put the roasted red peppers, you'd also see a ring of red. All right, let's just see how we've done here. All right, now you can see it a little bit better. Looks like we're right on target. Okay, now for the presentation, what I would do, right, a lot of restaurants for the presentation, it always looks like more if you give it height. So what I'm going to do, put one in the middle, then we'll just sort of what they call shingle this one. That gives you your height, makes it look like you're getting more. Now what I use to finish mine off is a little balsamic glaze. Now if you have not tried balsamic vinegar, you don't know what you're missing. This stuff is, well, when I make this, I refer to it as black gold. It's that good. And basically it's chicken stock, balsamic vinegar. You're going to boil that, then you're going to thicken it with a cornstarch slurry to the thickness that you want. Then taste it. If you need to add a little more vinegar, you want that vinegary taste. It's going to be a sugary vinegar taste, but that's the taste that you're going to want. If you find that you've overdone it, drop a few drops of honey in it, and that'll sweeten it back up. But there you have. All right, here it is, the final presentation. This is your stuffed pork loin with spinach and sage sausage with a balsamic glaze dressing. I think you'll enjoy it.